What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Trisha, but you may or may not already know that. As you can tell from the title and the thumbnail of this video, I'm just going to give you a few tips and tricks to how I have learned to stay productive. But before we get into this video, I want to give a quick thank you to everybody who has been subscribing to my channel and also watching my videos. I truly do appreciate the support. If this is your first time on my channel or seeing any one of my videos, I truly hope that you like what you see and will consider subscribing as well. So I won't hold you guys too long. Let's go ahead and get right into this video. Alright, you guys, so as you may or may not know, I am not the most organized person when it comes to time management. I am the most chaotic person I probably know. Looking from the outside in, I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. I'm always ripping and running. Nothing looks like it has any order to it. Well, in my mind, I can kind of map out what needs to be done, how to get it done, or whatever the case. But lately, I'm realizing that with everything that I have on my plate, I'm finding myself a lot more stressed out and overwhelmed a lot of the time. So I thought that maybe I would go ahead and give myself a chance to be better and start to kind of plan out my days and my goals. So with that being said, over the past few weeks, I have been working on different type of techniques to figure out what works for me when it comes to being productive. So if you are anything like me and cannot figure out why things are not working for you, or why you're so overwhelmed, or why you're so stressed out, I'm going to give you the tips that kind of help me. And honestly, I do feel like a more relaxed person. Though I don't mind the chaos, I can kind of work in it, but I would rather manage it a little bit better and also manage my time so that I have more time for me. Okay, so the very first thing that I do in the morning when I get up, I like to, for one, not just get up and jump and do things. What I was doing before is I would get up in the morning and, like most of us, I will grab my phone and check out social media, right? What I do now is I just take a few minutes when I wake up in the morning to just lay there and be still. Let me think about my thoughts, let me gather myself, and also to say thank you for waking up in the first place. So that gives me a sense of reality, right? So, okay, let me get my thoughts together first. After I get up, then I may take a few minutes, depending on what time I get up, which is I'll go into when I start doing my actual tip. All right, so the very first tip for you guys that I have, that I've also been working on with myself, and I'm finding that I like it. Okay, so the very first thing that I do to help me stay productive during my day or my week or whatever the case, the very first thing is I try to have minimum to no distractions. So meaning even when I get up in the morning time, the first thing I would normally do is grab my phone and be on social media, or just seeing the latest YouTube videos or whatever the case. I will be spending my time doing that. And I've come to realize, like, during the day, I spend a lot of time checking on other things or trying to update things or just looking at people updating things, and I'm like, why?
Do you have time for that?
Like, do you have time? You always at the end of the week, like, I didn't have time for this, I didn't have time for that. But it's like, well, you spent 2 hours on a phone call. You binge watch, like, your favorite YouTuber for a few hours today. You wrote a lot of stuff today, but didn't get a lot of stuff that you wrote down done. So did you really not have time, or did you just misuse your time, right? So what I have been doing lately is when I get up in the morning, I do not just automatically grab my phone to go to social media. I had to cut that out because I feel like that sets a tone in the day. I feel like that is what sets the tone in the day. So if you see in a bunch of stuff that sometimes it's miserable because people post miserable things, and sometimes sad things and happy things and silly things and funny things, that kind of gets into your mind and kind of alters your mood. I want to be able to have my own mood for the day, which is something else I'm trying to work on myself. Yeah, I just take all of that away. I am trying to be very mindful of how much time I spend on other things that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. So first thing in the morning, no social media. I set goals for myself. So this task, and this task done, then I can spend 30 minutes on TikTok or 30 minutes on Facebook or whatever the case, I reward myself with that. So the next thing that I like to do, which is honestly probably backwards from this one. So the next thing that I am working on doing is actually getting up out of my bed earlier. Now, when it comes to the weekends, I'm just an early riser anyway. I get up typically around 6 o'clock, I'm up. I'm finding that I feel like I can be more productive in the morning. Like when I get up in the morning, I want to get things done and get it out of the way so that I can try to enjoy the rest of my day. So with my ultimate goal, honestly, I would like to get up at like 4:30 a.m. I know that sounds really, really crazy. But with everything that I have going on, I need the extra time. Just waking up a little bit earlier to help me get some of the things that I rush to do when I get off of work done in the morning. That way when I come home from work, I only have half of the tasks that I need to do. So that's something else that I'm finding is very helpful to me. Now, is it easy to get up out of the bed at 4:30?
Not at all.
Have I accomplished that?
Not at all.
But that is my goal and I'm working towards it, and I'm not going to punish myself every day for not doing it. I'm just going to continue to try harder, because that's what leaves me stressed and overwhelmed. Oh, Trisha, you say you get up at 4:30 today. You didn't get up until 5:45. And now I'm beating myself up because we are our biggest critics. And I am very hard on myself. Like, I'm very hard on myself, which is why I started to take productivity and mental health serious, because I'm extremely hard on myself and I will beat my own self down better than anybody else could. So if you think you can beat me down better than I can beat myself, go ahead and try it, but it's just not gonna work. That's the reason why I like to get up early in the morning, just to get things done, you know? And because typically everybody else is usually asleep at that time, so it's quiet. Okay. So when I get up in the morning, even when I go to work, once I get to work, I have started to write everything down. Now, I have notebooks that I keep track of my daily tasks in. I literally write down my daily tasks every day and my daily goals so that I can see what I need to do and be mindful. Now, because today is Sunday, which Monday to me is a new week simply because it's a new work week, is when I like to get my weekly goals out of the way, right? So what I typically like to do is I like to create these to-do lists for myself. So I've started keeping my notebook with me. So I have two different notebooks, and I have this one, and I think I left my other one at work, which sucks, but I have these notebooks here to be reminders of what I said I wanted to do. I have to stop letting myself down. Like, you said you wanted to do these things. Now, do you have a valid reason at the end of the day why it's not done? No, you don't. So tomorrow you need to try a little bit harder to get these things done because you want them done. Like, you need them done for a reason, so do them, right? So that's another tip, is to just in the morning, I feel like when your brain is just kind of waking up, you don't have a million things going on, just to sit down and write your to-do list. Now, it helps if you do this in a clean, quiet space, because your creativity really flows, number one. And number two, you can, since you're at peace, things just kind of come to you. And it's not like,
oh my God, what I gotta do today? What I gotta do today?
It's simply like, okay, now, what do I need to do today? So that's where I am. So just to give you an example of what I do. So let's just say it's a brand new morning. I would literally get up, get my notebook, which is my smaller one. This one is more for my business goals, but I'm gonna write in this one and then I'll transfer over to my other one when I get it. Hopefully it's at work tomorrow. So what I typically like to do is I sit down and I say, okay, what are my goals for this week? What do I want to get done? I have to use a cute pen. I don't know, what is it? I don't know if it's just me or if it's a girly thing or whatever it is. Using a very cute pen or a pen that writes very well is how I get to writing. If I have a pen without a top on it, or it's just not, I don't want to write with it. So then I don't know, I'm weird. So since it's the beginning of a new week, I would like to start my paper to say, okay, this is my goals for this week, right? So I would write on my paper goals for this week, just like that, right? And once I go ahead and write down all of my goals for the week, everything that I want to get done in the week's time is what I put on this page first, right? All right, so now once I break down everything that I hope to get accomplished in the week or my goals for the week, what I do is I take it down a step further. So I'm gonna go through my list of goals through the week and determine what I can get done for that day, right? I like to highlight them by list of priority, by way of priority, so that way I know. So I have it to where there's a color for my priorities, which are must get done. This is a priority that is urgent and important, which means it needs to get done. This is a priority that is important but not urgent, which means we would like to get it done, but it can't wait. This task is just something that I want to get accomplished, which means it's important but not at all urgent. It can definitely wait, right? The last level would be not important, not urgent. It's just literally something that I thought about that I wanted to do. It can get done today, it can get done tomorrow, it can get done next week or next month. It is just something that I want to do. So that's how I prioritize and figure out what I need to do for the day. Once I get my high priorities done, I can move down to my next level of priorities. You would truly be amazed once you start writing down everything that you do or everything that you want to do and scratching off things that you have done, how accomplished you feel. It makes me feel so good to see that, okay, I had 12 things scheduled on my list for today and I got through 10 of those 12, right? It makes me feel good. Whereas before it was, dang, I didn't do this. Man, I was supposed to do this and I didn't do it. Oh man. I would never realize all the accomplishments that I had done in the daytime. So it would stress me out. I'm like, so I've learned to stop doing that. So those two things that I didn't get done, those things are the very first things that I get done on my next day. And it just kind of helps me keep my priorities organized and in order. And it kind of helps me reward myself. Like, girl, you're doing good. Like, you're doing very good. And this has also calmed my mood down. I'm not as, I don't feel like I'm as irritated because, you know, when you want something done, you got to get something done. Everything starts to get on your nerves. And that is me. So it has truly helped me in that sense. Okay. So just give that a try. So now once I figure out all of my list of things to do, I start to figure out and try to delegate time slots for them. So let's say, for instance, oh, you got to wash out a wig, right? So I think about it. Okay, by the time you get home from work, it's going to be about 5:30. You have to cook for the family. You probably have a little cleaning to do. So let's be realistic. So let's say between 7 and 8 is the time that you have to work on this wig, right? I schedule it and I make sure that at 7 o'clock, that's what I'm doing. At 8 o'clock, stop. You got to move on to something else. But this is how I do things. Now, if there's nothing else that I have planned that I need to do, I just continue working. It's no big deal. But if there's absolutely something else that I have scheduled, I stop what I'm doing and move on. The next tip that I have, something that's so simple, but we don't ever think to do it, especially when we're highly motivated to get things done and we just continue to do. My next tip is to
slow down and take a break.
Okay, I did not understand the value in this for a very long time because I'm like, no, I have to go. I got my business, I got YouTube, I'm a mom, I'm a girlfriend, I got my dog, I gotta wash clothes, I gotta clean. I always was on the go like a robot, and I'm wondering like, why you always freaking tired, you irritable, what's wrong? Realize like it's okay. Like to just slow down, like take 20 minutes to just go do something else. Like get your mind off of it, do something that you want to do. And that way you feel, okay, I've been productive. I didn't neglect myself. I'm okay. Like I'm okay. So slow down and take a break. Okay. And the last tip of things that I have learned to do is just take a minute to reflect. Like just reflect over what you have done. Make sure you're accomplishing your goals. But there's no point in living a life where you're just working. Like that is not going to keep you sane. It's not going to keep you happy. It's not going to make you feel fulfilled because all you do is work, right? So I'm learning to just sit back. Okay, last week was an awesome week. Last week I was able to get all of my goals done. I was able to do some self-care. I was able to actually be out and not stress. Last week was a good week. And I build upon that every week. I really like feeling accomplished. Are all my goals accomplished?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, they are not. But I set small goals to get to my end goal, right? So ultimately, let's say, for instance, I want my business to be extremely successful. I know that's not happening tomorrow or next week. Like, I just know that's not happening. So the more and more I put in work and effort into it, eventually I will get there. So that's how I think about everything. Like, just slow down and stop worrying about stuff. But anywho, I won't keep this video too long. I see it's getting a little bit longer, but just wanted to come to you guys because it is my Sunday, and I am getting ready for my work day tomorrow. So I just figured that I would give you this since I'm already starting to get into that mindset. I'm going to be doing some videos coming up in regards to routines, because I've set new routines for myself because I don't want to be crazy no more. So I did set routines. So I have updated some routines that I may have put on my channel. I can't really remember which ones I did. But I'm going to be doing that. And one of them will more than likely give you a visual of all the tips and everything that I just said right here. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you didn't like it. Leave me some tips and tricks as well, some suggestions. I'm always open because I always want to better myself. So if you have something that you can give me that can add to me, I'm gonna appreciate it. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.